Record. Okay, well, welcome you guys to our Monday night call. We're so excited for you to be here, and I know a lot of you guys were at the conference with us in Phoenix this past weekend, and I don't know about you, but I had an amazing time. I think every time we go to conference, I'm like, how can it be better the next time? And somehow they always figure out a way to make it better. And for me, it's one of my favorite times of the year because I get to connect with you guys and see you and hug you and, you know, get to know you better outside of just work stuff. And so we had a great team party on Friday night. We got to mix and mingle and have yummy food and got to learn with 8,000 other juicy, healthy, happy people more about our products, more about our mission, more about how we can make an impact on our own family's lives, but also an impact on others' lives, because that's really what it's about. It's about getting over yourself and putting others first and making a difference for your family and for others. And so tonight, I want to just kick off by sharing a few of the updates that they announced at conference, just some of the specific things that I think you guys will be really excited about. Some you guys may already know. It'll be a great refresher. And then for those who are on that weren't at conference or are watching the recording, it's going to might be new news for you guys. So the first thing I want to share is that they have made some changes to the products, and I want to share this quick video with you guys that some of you guys have probably, already seen, but it talks about some of the awesome changes that they've made to our product innovation. The company is really about just making sure that we have the best whole food product on the market, and so they're constantly working on our behalf to make changes that are beneficial for us and for the other consumers out there. And so let me share my screen. I'm going to share this video with you guys real quick. Right.
Hopkins, Chief Operations Officer for the Juice Plus Company and head of our global product team. I'm here today to give you a sneak preview of the latest improvements we've made to the Juice Plus fruit and vegetable blend capsules and chewables. As you know, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Juice Plus this year. One thing that has remained constant over those 25 years is our relentless effort to make our products the best they can possibly be. In the coming weeks, to showcase this, we'll start to ship new Juice Plus fruit and vegetable blend capsules and chewables that continue this tradition of ongoing product improvements. In the fruit blend capsules and chewables, we're replacing papaya with mango, largely because of the increasing difficulty of acquiring papaya that meets our quality standards. For vegetable blend capsules and chewables, we're removing oat bran and replacing it with more rice bran, because oats are associated with gluten in the minds of many consumers. And in both blends, we're adding lemon peel, a natural whole food source of folate, and we're removing the small added folic acid from the capsule formulas. It has already been removed from our chewables. We're also removing glucomannan from both blends to make room for lemon peel and other whole food ingredients. And like all of our products, Juice Plus capsules and chewables remain 100% plant-based, down to the vegan capsules and the pectin-based chewables that deliver our concentrated juice powders. We're quite proud of our products and the high-quality nutrition they provide. We're proud that their effectiveness has been demonstrated by 38 published clinical studies and counting. And we're proudest of all the millions of customers who have benefited from our products and of the tens of thousands of independent Juice Plus representatives like yourself who share them with others and help us inspire healthy living around the world together. Thank you for the important role you've played in making Juice Plus the global market leader in whole food nutrition over the last 25 years. We promise we'll continue to improve our products and occasionally add new ones over the next 25 years. In fact, I look forward to sharing with you exciting news on both these fronts as our 25th anniversary year continues.
All right, so that was a little teaser at the end. They didn't tell us what other new products may come out or other changes that are in the pipeline, but we know that they're always working on our behalf. And so those are some important things just to know about our products, that now we know how longer have the folic acid. We have lemon peel, which is great for people who have the folic acid mutation gene. And that's been a really hot topic this past year or two. And so that's going to be great news for anyone who has said no to Juice Plus. Because of that, they're going to be able to take the chewables or the capsules, which is great. The next exciting update I have for you guys is they announced at conference that they've made some changes to the bonuses going forward, starting in May business. And that's really exciting. We've had these like summer surges and these like bonus increases in the past, but they were temporary. This is a permanent change to our bonus structure. So going forward, the HLP bonus is still the same. It's $100. The Fast Track to 2000 Plus VF bonus has moved up from $250 to $300 for the recipient and for the sponsor. The sales coordinator bonus has gone up from $500 for the recipient and the sponsor to $600. So that's good news. So, it's even more encouraging for us to go and sponsor people and raise up people in this business because they're getting more bonus. It's going to be more enticing for them, and we're getting bigger bonuses. So it's a win-win. They have made some other changes to the structure requirements for SSC, QNMD, and NMD. And we'll be sharing more about that on our team page and obviously having specific conversations with those of you who are trying to reach those levels. So let me see, I had one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys. They launched something called the freedomrevolution.com at conference, and this is an amazing resource. For so long, there's been so many ways to get started, and we still have our Plant Strong website. Casey and I are going to work on how to incorporate this website into ours, into our startup, our new rep launch. But I want to just go and show you guys what the freedomrevolution.com looks like. You guys can go and search it and look at it on your own. But I just wanted to show you quickly. This is a website to help brand new reps get started in the business. So figuring out, what is this mission about? And it's basically a pre-made getting started solution for anyone joining our business. We want, though, if you're seasoned in this business, if maybe you started 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, we want everyone to go through this website, because in order for you to share it and effectively teach it to your downline that are getting started, you need to be really familiar. So obviously there's going to be a lot of great video resources. There's stories that you can share for different target audiences, athletes, entrepreneurs and free spirits, medical professional, parents. These are stories that you can share with people to help bring them into your team. We have the Get Started tab. Does anyone remember let's see if it's Revolution. Does anyone remember what the password is?
It's Revolution.
Okay, perfect. So this is the new rep startup that I was talking about. There's a starter guide. You can watch a video about casting vision. There's instructions on how to make your list, which that's something we already do. There's a section on sharing your product story, which is something we've already focused on, sharing your business story, events, effective inviting, social media, follow-up. We know the fortunes in the follow-up, expanding your team. That's something that we're all going to be focused on this year in 2018. And then what's next. And so this is really a one-stop shop for you guys to go and to learn and get equipped, and then to pass it on to your team for them to grow and learn and get equipped. So I invite you guys to go check this out when you get time, hopefully in the next week or two, so that you can start immediately using it as you bring on new team. So that's all I have to share. I wanted to say that it was an amazing time at conference. We had about 35 teammates there. We had an awesome time just celebrating and learning together. And I was so thrilled that Brooklyn got to meet so many of you guys and got to be loved on. It was so fun just to have her at her first conference. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to some folks to share their experience at conference. And I wanted to start with some of our brand new people who went to their first conference, and we've asked them to share some takeaways and kind of what conference meant for them. So the first person on the list is Alexis. So if you want to unmute yourself, I'll let you take it away.
Hey everyone, it was so nice meeting you guys. I think just being able to see everybody in person made it so much more real, like what we do every day, and made more purpose. Like I don't know about you guys, but when I first started, like, having all these different group chats, these different groups on Facebook, all these different people commenting on things is like just overwhelming. And then actually getting to meet the people and just, like you said, hugging them and having a good time, and it was just an awesome experience, and it made it mean so much more of what I'm doing every day, like reaching out and just really trying to help people get healthy. And also just the realization of how big this company is. Like, obviously it's been around for so long, and you would think, oh, it's a big company. Everybody said, even my husband, when I first got started, was like, oh, it's a big company. But walking into the conference room was just like overwhelmingly like, wow. And then just hearing people's speeches, like Ricky Perel, for instance, when he was doing his NMD speech, I was just kind of overwhelmed with how he had his wife on stage, and he was super all about it. And sorry, my husband left something in the oven. He was just like, I think that more men need to be doing this, and I think more couples should be doing it together. And at that moment, like, I texted my husband, and I was like feeling so inspired, and I was like, I want to go all in 100%. Like, I'm 27 years old. I had told him in my text message, I want to be national marketing director by the age 30. And like, I'm all goal oriented. I'm a numbers person. I'm a type A. And just the whole weekend was just like so much information. I feel like I know the products more. I'm more comfortable talking about it, like getting into the cabs, like with my Uber drivers. So I just practiced, like, what are you down here for? And it was just I feel more comfortable with everything now, and I'm just like fired up and ready to go. For sure. So happy to be a part of this company.
Yay! Thank you. Would you say that Tampa is definitely on your radar going to the next conference?
Yes.
And what's your goal by the next conference?
Well, by the end, originally by June was my goal for SC, but I moved it up to May. So I'm really excited. 4 teammates by the end of this month, and just keep moving wherever I'm at by that time. I'm kind of taking things like, I know you should look at the big picture, and I am, but I'm also taking things very much by like one step at a time. Mm-hmm. So my next step is definitely by the end of May, and then I'll start looking into like what it takes to go to the next step.
Absolutely.
I don't want to overwhelm myself.
Totally. It's just like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So yeah. We're so excited. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Up next, we have Caitlin. She's got a little baby there with her.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we got to meet this little sweetie at conference.
I have a baby, my toddler, and they're kind of both on the verge of a breakdown. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, give us what you got.
Yeah, so kind of like Alexis was saying, you know, when you first start the business, and it's so huge, and it's, you know, this whole new virtual world, and conference just really made things tangible for me. Like it put all these faces that I see, you know, on Zoom calls into bodies and into people, and getting to know people and forming relationships. And then, you know, just walking into this room with almost 8,000 people who are all there for the same mission, and, you know, ultimately the same goals, was just, it's hard to not, you know, you can't not be inspired when you see all of that happening. So for me, it just really made it a tangible, you know, business experience for me. And then, you know, some of my biggest takeaways were about, they talked about being as passionate about the business as you are about the product. And, you know, just first starting out, I was super passionate about the product, and that was easier for me to share, and the business has been kind of a harder side for me. So that was really good for me to hear that, you know, just as much as someone could need the product in their life and Juice Plus in their life, they can also need the business just as much, or maybe even more, depending on, their circumstances in their life. And so when they said to kind of get out of your own way and just step out of your comfort zone, it was pretty convicting for me, just because that is more out of my comfort zone, sharing the business than the product. So so that was pretty huge for me. And then when she was talking about the compensation plan with our business as like the interview kind of process, and I'm so glad that someone shared that whole verbiage of that, because that was so great. But it really just put, just a second, please. It just put everything into perspective, and it sounds so crazy and unreal, and like you just would never have that in an office business setting, and be able to say that our company offers these things. It just was it just kind of blew my mind in putting it in that perspective. And just learning to ask the right questions, like engage people in asking what they're passionate about and what their dreams are. And so many of those things we just don't talk about anymore, because it doesn't feel possible in a lot of ways. And so kind of engaging in those types of conversations is what I'm hoping to do, and just kind of attract your tribe, be positive and captivating, and create intrigue, and kind of leave the rest up to Jesus every day, and hand him over my business, and pray over it, and kind of see what happens. So my fire's lit. I'm really excited. Conference was amazing. Like everyone said, it's hard to put into words.
Oh, that was awesome. So what's your goal for Tampa?
Goal for Tampa is SC. So SC by beginning of August.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're so excited to cheer you on, and thanks for sharing your perspective as a first-time attendee.
That's awesome.
All right. Next we have Dee Dee. Dee Dee was also first-time attendee, and she's going to share some fun takeaways that she had as well.
Hey, everybody. It's so good to be on and be able to see everybody's face. So some major takeaways from me, like I was going crazy, like typing like a crazy person on my laptop. There were several, but some of the ones that stood out the most to me is that over and over throughout the conference, it was stressed that you are not alone. You have a team that's behind you even in moments that you don't believe in yourself. And so reach out, and they will pour into you, and you can do the same for them in the future. So it's absolutely imperative to build relationships within your team, because that's how you become successful. That absolutely was point number one that I took away. Not only that, but follow up. Customer service is such a huge part of it, and it makes all the difference in our business. So you have to be able to follow up with your customers, make sure everything's going okay, see if there's anything you can help them with, see if that opens doors to other things, beyond the trio that they may be interested in. And then of course, purposefully schedule tasks that that need to be accomplished daily. I'm in the process of realizing that I had tried to do everything in my phone to write things down, but now I realize that, and I gave it a trial for 4 months, and I realize now it's probably a good idea that I go back to my paper planner, because it's something visual that I'll keep up with. And so I'm kind of researching that and getting back into that, because I felt like that was helping me out in that matter. And then lastly, I would say, get out of your comfort zone. There's so many times where we just want to stay in this safe area and not, learn anything new, or not ask someone that we're nervous to ask them possibly about the business or the product itself. Just take that leap of faith. Step outside of your comfort zone and just do it. Just whatever is fear for you, just drop it and just speak from your heart, and it will come across from your heart. It'll come across that way.
Awesome. I love that. Some of the things that, what you said is, or what Caitlin or someone said, get over yourself. And then you said, get out of your comfort zone. And I think those go hand in hand, right? It's getting over yourself means you have to get out of your comfort zone, and so much can happen. I mean, so many people there are billions of people on this planet, and just because like 10 say no, it doesn't matter, right? There's plenty more people, and some are going to be just like us on this call. Some are going to be ready. Some are going to be passionate. Some are going to be in need. Some are going to be health challenged. Like, there are so many people like us, and what our job is just to weed through the people that aren't to find the people that are. It's like, digging for gold. You find a lot of rocks and before you find the gold, right? And so I love that, Dee Dee. Thank you so much for just kind of reminding us that we've got to get out of our comfort zone and, do the things that are a little scary or a little intimidating. And we have, like you said, we have that team that we can lean back on when we're, nervous to get outside our comfort zone to encourage us. So thank you. We're going to move on and have some of our veteran attendees share quickly. The first we have is Sharon. Sharon, are you gonna mute yourself? Sharon, why don't you tell us what conference this was for you, and then you can share some of your big takeaways.
This was my 4th conference, and just like you said, every conference you take away even more than what you thought you'd already learned from the last one. So this one here was, again, a reminder, a great reminder that, you have to get out of your comfort zone. And I do well sharing the product. I don't have a problem with the product. It's the business part. I don't remember who it was that said it. Just said, those no's don't really mean anything. Just keep on going. And at some point, some of those no's may turn into yeses.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep ripping on them. Keep throwing stuff out there, and they'll come around. I was so excited about the Freedom Revolution. Not only for myself, but for my teammates. So we're going to have a refresher party and show that. Being a senior, in a sense, I was really excited to see that they're doing the research on the brain and aging. So that's going to be a real plus for us older folks. And I liked too that they said to on social media to throw things out there that don't even pertain to Juice Plus, be it fitness, be it family, be it like us. I mean, we were out there climbing mountains and doing all kinds of, being billy goats. Okay, Dee Dee, don't even, Dee Dee, stop. So yeah, just to go out there and even on health stuff, like with the mango, taking the papaya out and adding the mango, I've already started thinking, why mango? Why add mango to your diet? So I'll go out there and research it and do some kind of a little blurb on that, just so that people will get interested in what you're doing. So it was awesome, as always.
Yay. Well, we're so glad that you came, and sounds like you had a lot of fun. And what I love is that each time you go, you learn something new. You get another nugget. You get something you can take and apply to your business. And so it's not just like go to conference once and that's it. It's like you need to keep going. And what I've noticed over the years is, for me, conferences and boot camps and trainings are really like, my church. It's like my church for the business. It's like you pour out to people all the time. You're pouring out in text messages and phone calls and social media. You're pouring out to people and your customers, and you're taking care of others, and coming together as a team on these calls, being together at the boot camps, being together at the conferences is what's going to, it fills you up so that you can pour out to others. So, so that's That's great, Sharon. Thank you for kind of sharing that. Last is Charlotte. Are you able to unmute yourself and share a little bit?
Yes, ma'am. So I am Charlotte, and this was my fourth conference as well. My very first conference, I went right after I started the business, and I tried to go to every spring conference at least, and then the falls if I can make it. But my biggest takeaway were pretty specific. There was a lot of really good things shared. One thing that I struggle with is consistency. And one thing that I also struggle with is just having a clear idea of what I can do and how I can be a good leader and how I can really just showcase what is needed so that way people will want to join this mission that I'm on. And so one of the speakers kind of asked some serious questions that really kind of spoke with me, and I just wanted to share these because as someone that's kind of been stuck, and I'm only kind of stuck in my business because I haven't been as committed or applying myself as intentionally as I know I could be. And so one of the things, they asked kind of like 4 or 5 different questions, and they kind of put it on a scale of 1 to 10. And for me, it was these questions that I wrote them down so that way I can reflect on them and really kind of measure myself on it and hold myself accountable. And they were, what is your commitment to this business? I think that's really important to know that, because if you're like 50% committed, then the result's going to be 50%. I've had some pretty lofty goals before that I set myself up that I chose to make those my goals, but the commitment level wasn't there now that I look back on it. So what is your commitment to this business? Are you reachable and coachable? Are you asking for things that you could find for yourself? I think as you kind of grow in your business and you become a leader yourself, it's important to kind of go and look for things on your own. Yes, we have a team that is here for us, that can support us. But part of the growth and stepping outside of your comfort zone is sometimes looking for things first or doing the research for yourself first, because you will learn so much along the way when you do that, or taking a stab at writing some of the text blitz stuff for yourself first and then having your upline kind of read it. That's something that I think is, for me, has been really important. Are you contributing to the culture of your team? I definitely really liked that one because no matter, I don't know how to say this, but everyone's going to contribute differently and in different ways. That's what makes us all so special and unique, and that's what makes us team us. But I have noticed in the last 6 months, being completely transparent and honest here, I have pulled back some, I've had some personal life stuff happening at home, but what I've noticed is that I'm not contributing, and therefore I'm not as involved or as engaged, or, I miss out on the opportunity of being inspired or learning more or being motivated by what you guys are doing. So contributing to the culture of the team, I think, is really important, because it's not only giving to others and helping others, but you also get so much in return. And I didn't realize that until I kind of taken this little hiatus that I took for a little while. And the biggest one, I bolded this on my notes: would you follow you? So whether it's you're a leader and you have people that are underneath you, or you're looking to have people join your team, or you're just looking to get more customers, at the end of the day, would you follow you? Are you being the person that you want others to join with you? Because if you're not doing the things that you're looking for, then they're not going to want to be a part of it. So that's just that was a huge one for me. And so these are some really good questions that I personally am going to be doing some reflecting on over the week. The last takeaway that I really got, there were so many. I had like 4 or 5 I wanted to share, but I know I can't talk all night. But this was Lauren Lahav, and she was the very last speaker. I've watched some videos of her before from MLM Nation, so I was really excited to hear from her. And she was the absolute end, so I stayed to the end. In the past, I've gone to conferences, and either I had to catch a flight because I had a corporate job to get back to, or I was going out of town somewhere else, so I left early. But I really made all intentions to stay and listen to her, because the last speakers are always going to leave you with some incredible tidbit. And I'm glad I stayed, because what she said is obviously what we do as a relationship business. That is a big part to really understand and to absorb, because I know I get completely hung up on trying to sell something, or that I'm trying to push something on somebody, because I'm always hearing those things behind the scenes. And that's just kind of the enemy speaking, honestly. But we're a relationship business, so we need to make sure that we are, nurturing relationships, building relationships. And she said this: trade your expectation for appreciation. And that was huge for me, because I expect certain people to do certain things to kind of help me out to be able to, so I can go to conference. I expect my husband to help me with that if that's what I want to do. But instead, I should be appreciative, and I should appreciate him or whoever it is, or appreciate your customers. Take care of your customers, because it's easier to keep them to get new ones. So that one was a really cool one, and it was really awesome, because when we were there, she even told us, put down your pen or paper and text somebody something that you appreciate them, whatever it was. And so I texted my mother-in-law, because she watched my daughter for 3 or 4 days, because my husband had some prior commitments. And if she wouldn't have watched my daughter, I wouldn't have been at conference. So that was a big part, was to trade your expectations for appreciations. And then what are you really doing to nurture those relationships? Being that we're in a relationship business, it's really important that we're doing things to nurture relationships. I think we get so hung up on, we need to get as many trio orders as we can, and we just need to do this, this, and this. But sometimes I think it's important to slow down and really nurture relationships. Go get coffee, go get lunch. You know what I mean? Send your customers a thank you note. I went to Promo Store and I bought a couple bottles of shaker bottles, because I have 2 customers who didn't listen to me and bought the big bags with the scoop. And every day they'll send me a picture saying, they put their thing in a little Ziploc bag, and this keeps getting everywhere. And I was like, well, you should have bought those. So instead, I am going to appreciate them, and I'm going to send them a shaker bottle. That way they can put them in the little containers. And yeah, I thought, as soon as I saw them, I thought of those too. And then the last one is, what has got to change in order for you to say that I am all in? And that one, to me, was really big, that I also need to reflect on. So if you have some big goals, you can say the goals all day long, but she also said, Lauren also said, it's 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. You can have all the tools, all the support, and all the resources, but if your mind's not completely there, or if you're not being completely honest with yourself about where you are and what you really want, and stepping outside of that comfort zone, then you're not gonna get there. So psychology is huge. Take the time and read some of those books that Casey and Michelle suggest, because they're suggesting them for a reason. So I thought it was great. And it was, if you haven't been to conference, even if you're not entirely sure that what you want out of this business, go to conference before you decide what you want out of this business. It's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you, Charlotte. I don't know why my Zoom is saying we have less than a minute left, even though I'm a pro user, so I'm going to have to figure that out. But so we have to jump off here, but thank you so much. I love those takeaways. And for the would you follow you? Your team's going to do what you do. So if you're not getting customers, if you're not getting team, then you can't expect your team to do that. And so you've got to be the best example, and you've got to lead by that example. And I love those questions. Charlotte, can you type those up for us in the Voxer chat? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for being on here. We got this recorded. We'll pass it along. And then Kurt Beavers is doing a really in-depth wrap-up with all the speakers, slides and things. It's going to be a video. We'll share that with you guys this week or next week whenever it comes out. So have a great evening.
Have a good night.